Hey everybody, welcome back to a late night edition here of Run It Up. I am Jay Carver playing a $10 six-max sit and go on ultimatepoker.com. Super excited to be back playing a sit and go again after the cash nine-handed disaster of yesterday. It's great to play six-max, a little six-max action, a little bit of back to what worked out so well for us last time, so hopefully it goes just as well this time. I don't know any of these opponents. We pretty much got every hand here. I think I might have missed the first hand while I was getting set up. And here we are. I figured I had recorded one video in advance. I prefer casting so much more at night, but I end up not ever really getting time to plan out these videos and make a day in advance videos. They're almost always shot at 2 p.m., posted at 3 p.m., but today, something different, nighttime. I assume you guys will not be watching this video during tonight, so hey, in advance, I'm growing up. It's a wonderful thing. What is that flickering? I wonder if that is me. I can see it on my screen, the flickering of the, I don't know what that is. Might be the reflection of the camera. How about this? We'll just go like that. All right, we get to see a live. Nope, that's not doing it. There we go. Look at the aria. Look at that. That is a Las Vegas. That is a Las Vegas shot right there. The aria in the background, no big deal, just hanging out. All right, sweet. All that planning and perfect positioning I just ruined in 2 seconds of moving. All right, we'll just do it that way. Damn it, that little thing is annoying me. There, perfectionism is coming back to haunt me. There we go. No aria, but at least there's no annoying thing. So folds to me in the small blind here. I guess I should not say folds to me. Limps to me in the small blind here. Figure worth a completion. Flop absolutely nothing, but that doesn't mean we won't win the pot. It just means it's less likely to win the pot. Some people had asked me to kind of move around the camera a little bit. I had kind of liked the camera next to the face type of thing when there's more like story time and we're just talking about the World Series, stuff like that. I prefer the bigger camera, but I think maybe in six-max where it's not going to move, I can just leave the camera like this. So we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. I think. I'm going to have to move this camera about 9 more times to be happy, but we'll. All right, how about that? Look at that. I'll just move myself. That's fine too. I'll just do it that way. All right, doing it live here, making the camera work. Queen 10 of spades, beautiful hand on the button here. I would imagine we're going to see a flop almost regardless what happens, unless it goes like raise, re-raise. Then I guess we'll just get on out of here. Planning on min-raising if folded to, so that's what we're going to do here. Now, if you guys didn't see the last video, you might not be as prepared as I am for the blinds to go up as fast as they will go up. So the blinds are going to go up in about every 4 minutes, and it goes up very fast. So definitely would like to get a little bit of a chip lead prior to the blinds getting up there. It goes 25, 50, 50, 100, 75, 150, 125, 250 with a 25 ante. So by far the biggest jump in the tournament is after 75, 150. So I think it's kind of important that you try to position yourself to be there, to be chip lead before, or to have a decent amount of chips prior to that. So yeah, it's still Sunday, so there's like 40 or 35 players left in the World Series Poker main event. I don't have any more horses, unfortunately. My last horse busted like 50th or something like that. Not a bad score, but and it feels so sick to get 50th in the main. 50th is great, and you get like 150K or whatever it is, but it really sucks. I mean, I got 69th last year, so I know how much it sucks to play for 6 days and get so excited and then bust 69th, or 50 in that late day 6 range, mid day 6 range. It sucks, but the 150K helps. the money of course helps, but it sucks to get there. It gets so close and still be so far. So pocket tens here, gonna min raise. I think of the field that I saw was left, there are a couple players that I think are really like A-list. Elite players. I know Yevgeny had a lot of chips last time I saw. Yevgeny Timoshenko, really smart, really smart player, very successful, has won so many big tournaments, and I think him having all the chips, it's going to be very hard for him not to final table. He's not the type to give them away, and he's so smart, so aggressive, and he does so good in fields like this that I think Evgeny, if he still got 10 million chips, which he did last time I saw, I think he's got to be a pretty big favorite comparatively to the rest of the field to make that final 9. JC Tran, I'm going to actually pop up these chip counts, and I'll run them past the table so you guys know who I'm talking about once I get these up at least. So Anton Morgenstern is the chip lead right now with 19 million. Evgeny's still in 5th. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. Yeah, let's pull that. Let's see. So yeah, as of the second, the top 10 here. I don't know him, don't know any of the top 3. But JC Tran, I have a lot of respect for JC Tran. He's like one of the original like live pros that I remember like hearing about and admiring growing up. I mean, coming up through poker, he's really good, such a professional, super nice guy, and just gets it. Evgeny I talked about is great. Carlos Mortensen, I have a ton of respect for. Carlos Mortensen is one of those guys that just always gets it done. He's not necessarily the most fundamentally stable, like sound guy. Like he does things that probably aren't correct, but he's so good at so many things. He has a great he has a great mind for the game. He is able to make reads that most people wouldn't make, and I think his creativity and ability to exploit the weak players is kind of really shining through here. I mean, 7.4 million chips is a ton. Last year at the main event final table, I think the short stack was Jeremy Osmus with like 9.8 million or something like that. I didn't look that up, so don't be mad at me if that's wrong, but he had like 30 big blinds going in. So these guys that have 7 million chips can technically make the final table with the stack they have. Not that they want to, but they could. Rounding up at top 10 is Amir Lehavat, or I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But that's Amir, I think that's Amir SF online, who is another really good, smart, not young guy. I was going to say smart young, but he's not young, but he's actually really good. And I have a lot of respect for his game as well. Let's see if there's anybody else here that rounds up the chip counts. I would love to see Carlos Mortensen make that final table. I mean, that would be so good for poker to see a former champion make the final table again. And Carlos has got a great personality. He's got a good story. It would be great to see. As much as I like suited hands on the button, I'm not going to get myself involved here. Just like last time, if you watched it, I folded 8-5 suited in a similar spot, and it hurts me. But it's correct when you only have 16 big blinds, as much as it hurts me. Going through the rest of this list here, Mark Newhouse, if that's the Mark Newhouse that I assume that it is, he's still in with like 5 million chips. Yeah, it is. It is Mark Newhouse, the Mark Newhouse. And Jackie Glazer still in. David Benefield, oh man, David Benefield used to be Raptor online. Super nice guy, very good player, super, like, he's friends with all the sickos. Pocket fives here. I think I'm going to just open shove. I mean, there's definitely an argument for min-raise folding, but I think shoving is just better. I think we make too many mistakes min-raise folding. These chips do have a decent amount of value to us. Just getting this 150 does matter to us. I think if we min-raise, we make too many mistakes. If we min-raise, let's say this person shoves with like queen jack, we should be calling, and instead we usually fold. So I think with pocket fives, I think I'm happy just to shove and win that blind and a half right there. Stephen G. Oh, well, actually, I'm talking about Raptor, right? Yeah, Raptor, he's really good and a super nice guy. I'd love to see him make that final table. That would be a sick one, too. Raptor, I think, Raptor was either the first or second guy that I won my first ever 50K pot with, which I must have told this story before, but when I was like 18 or 19 still living at my parents' house, I had 100,000 to my name. That was my bankroll and life roll. That was it. I had 100,000 and that was it. And I was watching 200-400 running on Full Tilt, and it was like Patrick Antonius, Phil Ivey, a couple other people that I don't remember now, but I think it was like they were like good players, and there was like one or two guys that were really weak, and I only had 100K to my name, but I was like, oh, how bad could it be? It seems like a good spot. So I ended up getting it in against the weakest player at the table by a mile. With the board was Jack 10-9. I think it was Jack 10-9 all spades, and I got it in with I want to say I got it in with... Man, how did I forget what I had? That's weird. I've never forgot what I had in this hand before. I know I lost to King of Spades, Jack, which had me in very bad shape because I think I had like... Oh, man, how did I forget this hand? This is sad. I have to look this up now, I guess. I know I had 20% equity, and it was really sad. I had, like, a decent hand, but I was just crushed by King Jack. He had the King of Spades. He had the King of Spades and top pair, and I had, like... I must have had, like, Queen 10 or something like that. I had, like, Queen of Spades 10 or something like that. It's killing me that I can't remember what I had, but regardless. I was drawing very slim. My flush draw was covered and everything else. And I remember putting like 25K in the pot because I sat with 20K. So I put 25K in the pot, and in front of my eyes, all the money that was like all the big piles of chips that were like raised, re-raised, whatever, all just morphed into two 25K chips. And it was like a couple cents behind that. And I watched that get shipped to my opponent. And that was one of like 2 nights lifetime that I couldn't sleep because I had lost because of poker. I was really upset with that. That was a lot. That was a big loss to me at the time. Huge loss to me at the time. I mean, I lost like a quarter of my bankroll in one bad hand where I had 25% equity. I guess we'll complete here. I mean, it's a bit of a donation. Not really. I mean, it's got to be okay. If I knew for sure we were seeing a flop all the time, then I think it would be fine. But we don't really know that for sure. But yeah, then like either the first... Maybe like a year or two later, during the World Series, actually, I remember playing online, and I got it in. It went like raise under the gun, call on the button. I had queens in the blinds and re-raised. Only the button called. It came like jack high. I had pocket queens. It came like jack high. I bet. He raised. I shoved. He called. He had aces, and I ripped the queen for 50K. That was something. And then the same summer, I got it in against... Oh, I should have opened that. That was autopiloting. I should have been raised there. That was my bad. Story time takes precedence, I guess. And then that same summer, like a session or two later, against Raptor, which is how this story gets here, I had 5-3 suited, my favorite hand. I had 5-3 suited against his queens on a 10-5-3 board, and we got it in for 50K total. So that was that. Now, in the past where I've been min-raise folding, I think, or shoving versus min-raise folding, I think I'd rather min-raise fold here than shove, although I probably couldn't fold to him, so maybe that means I should be shoving. But I did want to min-raise fold because I didn't want to shove and get, because this hand is so bad if I get action, it just is so destroyed. I'm going to bet. I know my hand isn't very good, but I don't really want to check back and then have to guess. I mean, we have the best hand here a good percentage of the time, but I don't want to. I don't think I'll make too many mistakes by bet folding. I mean, we make mistakes against King Queen exactly and Queen 9 when those hands check shove, but everything else I think destroys us by so badly. I think I'm fine with bet folding versus any other path of action. God, if I win 2 of these, we're gonna have to play like a million of them. It'll be like Monday Night Mayhem. I'll just play like 8 $10 sit and goes in a row. We'll just see what happens. That would be cool. That would be cool. That could happen. But yeah, so back to the chip counts here for the main event. Steve G, 2.5 million, could be back-to-back for Steve G. That would be amazing. That would be a sick accomplishment. I did a lot of research last year on Steve G, so I mean for Russell's final table. So he's definitely got what it takes. He's definitely solid. He knows what he needs. I mean, I guess he did bluff off to Russ last year, but besides that, which was really it was a pretty ballsy bluff to make. That's for sure. I think he's got a decent shot if he can run it up. He's one of their shorter stacks right now. Rep Porter, he's also kind of short, but he's also got a great poker game, smart poker mind, all that stuff. So 36 left. Some big names. All right, so we got it all in here. Top 2 versus flush draw and gut shot. Looks like the flush draw and gut shot takes it this time. 5-handed. Still going to be. Oh no, yeah. No, sorry, 6-handed. Apparently, people that have more chips aren't eliminated. So this is a huge jump I was talking about, 125, 250. So even though we were chip lead, now we have 8 big blinds. But I still think we're better at the 8 big blind game than anybody else here, so I feel like we'll do okay. So if it folds to us, we're not folding. We just can't. We just can't fold given his stack size and given how much money is in the pot. We just can't fold this hand. This hand is just too good to fold. So we're going to see a flop. I don't think shoving makes any sense. We're going to see a flop. We flopped a pair. And now the question is, do we check and then bet, or do we bet? And which works out better for us? I think I'd prefer betting, but maybe checking is superior because he never folds a better hand than us, but maybe he bluffs with a worse hand. But that's a good hand to see. Got to sweat an ace. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to probably get some comments about this hand, but that is absolutely 100% correct. And I don't usually talk too depth in like strategy. I usually try to keep it pretty simple, but trust me, you just got to because of the pot odds. Trust me. Just believe in me, team Run It Up, the Run It Up squad, whatever we're going to be collectively here. As we try to make $10,000. What am I gonna do with $10,000 that I just ran it up and I just have 10,000? What am I gonna do with that money? I think I should collectively get ideas for what I should do with this 10,000 and then make a video out of that. Now we're talking. So we're in a bizarre hand right now where it went like limp under the gun, shove, call. So it's very possible we just cash this hand if somebody has like ace king and just everybody else gets it in. Wow, ace 8 is crushing it. Or ace 10 crushing it, rather. I did see ace 10. I just miscalled the hand. Brutal. Chop it up between ace 10 and ace 8. Brutal for this guy, but... I mean, not brutal for this guy. Brutal for the ace 10. I guess it's not that brutal. He had a lot of outs to chop, but... Alright, four-handed now. We're still chip lead. Well, this guy is obviously really short, but... we'll be all in here, no matter what happens. As predicted, we are all in. Huge increase just to win those blinds and antes because we're picking up like 500 chips or something, which is a lot of the chips in play. So pretty big pickup there. Gonna fold the 5 deuce with the blinds. Big blind being so short. Oh, please. Back to back sit and go champions. Please, team Run It Up. Please make this happen. Good, the old limp call. No weird check folding for 15 chips this time. They're very likely. Oh, deuce, not going to chop it. Wow, I was going to say they're very likely to chop, but deuce changes that. So ace 6 picks that up. So we're three-handed now. I guess the plan hasn't changed too much, but we'll see if these players are tight or... Oh, there we go. I mean, I imagine we're going to get a walk here a good percentage of the time, just because there's no small blind. People are generally tighter, but nice. This is a huge pickup just to pick up the 500 plus our big blind and the 75 in antes. I mean, even if you just raise fold, it's still huge. Oh no. Okay. All right. Need to hold this one. Okay. One more. Nice. Dodged it. So we're in the money. I guess I didn't do the payouts for this, but if you saw the last video, they're exactly the same. First place is $40, which will be a profit of $30. I'm learning. I'm learning. And second place is $15.80. So we're guaranteed to make a $6 profit, which washes out the loss from yesterday because I lost about $6. Wow, look at that. I'm in video time because that was actually like 5 hours ago. So yeah, yesterday to you, 4 hours ago to me. I lost the $6 in that super tilty nine-handed cash game. Another sweet hand. We'll be calling if he is all in. Wow, the limp. If he limp folds, that would be something. Limp calls, trapping us with his 4 big blinds. That makes more sense, and this is a more reasonable thing to do to have a strong hand in limp than if he had had a hand that tried to limp fold. That would have just been that would have been way more of a leak than limping with a big hand here, because limping with a big hand here kind of induces some people to shove. So I can understand that strategy, but limping with like a hand like Queen 7 there is just asking for problems. So I'll be shoving here. Any suited hand with 8 big blinds is certainly fine to just slam it in there. Also, we expect him to be, or Miss Savannah, so her to be a little bit on the tighter side. Not that impacts what we're doing too much, but a little bit certainly. 10-4. So if he limps, we'll be checking. If he raises, we'll be folding. If he folds, we'll be happy. That's the update here from the floor. 1600 folding. All right. back to our button. Blinds will go up in a minute to 300, 600, which will make this even more of a push-fold fest than it already is. We are all in with 10-8 offsuit. Hand can't do too badly in most circumstances. Keeping about a 2-to-1 chip lead here. Not that it makes a big difference, but we'll at least have some room if we do lose one of these all-ins, which is very possible. Close, but not quite. Don't think we need to put it in with the Jack-6 there, which is probably slightly losing anyway. And I don't think we need to do that. So this is a semi-interesting spot where we've seen her be kind of tight before, but I think I'm going to try min-raise folding. I think we'll still get a lot of credit from a player like this. I don't think a player like this will read this as weakness. I think a player like this will read this as strength, and it just saves us our stack and kind of keeps our opponent on their toes a little bit because they're not quite sure what to make of it. As the very first time we did it, I think it's okay. You know, a lot of the stuff that I do in these videos to talk about, and like this stuff is like catered to these types of players. So like I wouldn't necessarily do that against, you know, Phil Ivey heads up in a World Poker Tour event, but I think it's fine to do that kind of stuff in these settings. Fine with me. We're gonna need a 7 or a queen, boys. Or should I say the 92% of you that are male? Oh yeah, Google Analytics. Oh yeah, 92.8% of you that are male. Also, I found out that a good deal of my viewership is Polish. Who knew? I didn't know that. The magical powers of Google Analytics told me that. It was like the most commonly viewed country or something from like beyond like the normal ones you would expect. I was like, oh, I can't wait for that line. I'm gonna drop that on somebody. Oh, don't worry, I'm big in Poland. Don't worry. when I become big time Jay Carver, like big time Zuggles. All right, we're gonna need some help here. With only 6 big blinds, you really can't do anything besides shove. We're gonna need a deuce, a 6, a 5, or a jack. No luck for us this time. Still pick up 580 here, so we run our bankroll back up to about $75, give or take. I'm not gonna do the math in my head, so no one can be mad at me. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Always good to hear from you guys in the comments below. I've been replying to a lot more comments because now my setup is a little bit more conducive to running Firefox with just that comments up. So thanks so much for watching. As always, I'll be back with more tomorrow. There'll be a super cool video that I cannot wait to show you guys tomorrow. I think I'm really excited about that video. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. So I've got a special video coming out tomorrow, which is your tomorrow, not my tomorrow, so Tuesday, I think. And yeah, so look out for that. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back for more soon. Thanks, guys.